Yeah. Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good
Yeah.
morning.
Um. How you doing?
Good.
Fine, thank you.
Thank you for having me here.
Thank you.
Yeah. We're on Instagram now. Okay. Hello, my people. My name is Chinedu Anichi, your one and only celebrity CSO, and this is Chinedu Anichi TV, streaming live from St. Louis, Missouri, United States of America. And today we are having Life Saving Academy that grew up from the grass from Nigeria and migrated to US, expanded every part of the world. We are privileged. Let me demonstrate humility and say this platform is privileged to have this Decency Nclex Academy. The director, the management, and all the facets of nurses in diaspora, they are represented today effectively in this discussion. And I know the life wire of the organigram of Nursing Council of Nigeria will fill this discussion today. God bless you.
Mhm.
God
Without
bless
wasting
you.
your time, our people, we don't want to waste your time. They said acceptance of a fault is a sign of good upbringing. We want to apologize sincerely for coming behind schedule because naturally we should start at 7 p.m. Nigerian time, but we are a few minutes behind schedule and we want to apologize. It's for some logistic reasons. And please, I want to take the responsibility. God bless you. So we want to go straight to business by bringing in our guests. They are seated already to show punctuality, and I appreciate that virtue. And I want to start with the CEO, the director. I don't know how they are addressed. I'm not a professional in nursing. So if I make some mistakes, please tolerate me. I'm just a security man and a media influencer. So please just tolerate me. I want to bring in the director of Decency Nclex Academy worldwide. He is seated here in the name of Decency Onyekachi to introduce himself before we go further.
Hello, viewers. Good afternoon, good morning, and greetings from wherever you're watching us from. My name is Decency Onyekachi. I am from Nigeria, from Enugu precisely. And today we are here to discuss not decency staffing or decency and class issue, but to discuss something that is affecting nursing in Nigeria. So by nature, Decency Nclex Academy has gone around Africa and has been helping people all over the world. But there is an issue, a very important issue that is happening in Nigeria that we want to really discuss on air. So that's why we are live here today. So Chinedu, thank you for giving us this opportunity to discuss this. And the people I have here are not actually people from Decency Nclex Academy. They are people from Diaspora Nurses Association. So we have an association of all nurses all over the world. Our members come from UK, from US, from Canada, from New Zealand, all nurses all over the world. We are here to discuss one very important issue that is affecting all of us. So thank you, Chinedu, and I will let other members introduce themselves.
Yeah, we're going to start with Anselm Onyeneke. Uh,
Good day, everyone. Good day, Chinedu. My name is Ansa Moyeneke. I'm actually a nurse practitioner here in the United States of America. I'm also a member of the Association of Nurses in Diaspora, and I'm also a member of the Nigeria Initiative of Good Leadership in Africa. So we are here basically to discuss about the new guidelines that the Nursing and Midwifery Council actually are planning to implement by March is what we are here to discuss, how it affects the nurses in general, both nurses home and abroad, and how everybody should speak against those guidelines that are actually to witch hunt the nurses in Nigeria. Thank you.
Okay, my people will have another big guy. I used to know that men that keep hair like this used to be professors. I don't know if he's a professor in nursing, but let's wait. Let him unveil himself. And that is Nzube Obiesie. We have
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chinedu Alinchi. I'm delighted to be on your channel today. Hello, viewers. My name is Nzube Obiese, and I'm a nurse. And I'm privileged to have trained and practiced in Nigeria as a nurse. And by reason of privilege, I've also been privileged to practice in the United Kingdom, from where I migrated to the United States of America, still practicing as a nurse. So, as a matter of fact, we're here to actually discuss the issue with regards to the current verification guideline that was provided currently, or rather, that was proposed by the National Military Council of Nigeria. We are here to discuss the implication on a common Nigerian practicing nurse and nurses abroad. As a matter of fact, I told you I migrated from Nigeria to the United Kingdom and then to the United States of America. So, by the reason of the current provision, that may have been stalled, or that may not have even been possible for me if the current guideline is in place. So, we are here to discuss that and try as much as possible to get National Americans to back down on that and adopt something more meaningful and more useful for nurses. Thank you.
Yeah, my brother. Thank you. We're still expecting one of our speakers, and we're waiting patiently. Whenever she appears, we're going to, he or she, I don't know, or we're going to bring him or her up to introduce him or herself. So today, basically, what we're here for is like we are representing the mindset of all the nurses. It's like you people are representing the mindset of the common man or the common nurses in Nigeria and in diaspora.
Yeah,
So, and this is a clarion call that we would want especially nursing council, is that nursing and midwifery council of Nigeria, to hear what we're saying, and you're not here to you're not here to attack anybody. You're here to admonish them and let them know there are better ways of doing certain things to create peace, to help the caring tendency demanded of the nursing profession, and to make our nurses better. I think that is why you're here.
that's correct.
So, and if that is why you're here, please let us hear from our CEO.
Mhm.
Um, First of
Okay.
all, I don't want to go into that place. I want to let people know you. Tell us little things about NCLEX, NCLEX Decency Academy, a little. Because let me tell you the spirituality of Nigerians and a lot of us in the social media. They want to associate what you're saying with your personality and experience.
Mm,
So, so that it will not look as if you are talking from nowhere. So we
okay,
want you to give you a summarized and brief little history of your background and how you came to where you are now and why you want to stand for a common person. Because if you did not wear the shoe, you would not know where it pinches.
that's true. Okay, thank you so much, Inedu. So, like I said, my name is Decency, and I'm a registered nurse. I trained in Nigeria. I did my nursing in Nnamdi Azikiwe University Teaching Hospital School of Nursing, and I graduated. And I worked in several institutions. I've worked in all levels of care in Nigeria. I worked in the primary health care sector. I worked in the secondary and then also in the tertiary. And I also worked in the private facilities. And one thing is unique with all these things, all these places that I've worked. Um, I think I was still empty. I needed something more. Okay, in all my practice, in all these places, I needed something more. I needed to advance my career. But having worked in the tertiary, which is the highest level of care, in fact, in National Hospital, I was there, and National Hospital is under presidency, so it's the highest level of nursing care or health care that you can dream to work in. And then having been there was still some feeling of emptiness. I needed more. I needed to do more to advance my career. And then that's what led to me looking for ways that I can pursue a career outside of the shores of Nigeria. That's number one. Number two is that even though I worked in National Hospital as at that time, it was still not enough for me because I was not able to fend for my family, my immediate family, for my extended family, and every other need that I had. We all know how much that we are being paid in different levels of care in Nigeria. So it made me, I was juggling two jobs at a time. You understand? And still at that juggling of two jobs, you're not always there for your family, and you will still have some other things that you need to do, that finance will be a problem. So all these things amounted to me looking for a greener pasture, and that led to my quest to migrate. And I was able to find ways to migrate, and not only did I find it, I let everyone that I know about it. So anybody that have come with me, associates me with Decency Nclex Academy, just because I was like an originator. But that's just a pathway that nurses are using to find greener pastures elsewhere. So there was no job at a time. I need to mention this. There was no job at a time when I was in Nigeria. I know times that I was looking for job. I did all levels of levels of healthcare system, but at the time there was a time I didn't have job. There was a time I had job that paid me. Then they were paying me at least, I think, 40,000 or 45,000. I don't want to mention the name of the hospital because the hospital is still in existence today. You understand? I was paid less than that even in other hospitals. Okay, but in all these things, what we were getting was not enough, which led to us trying to look for how to go elsewhere and get a better living and make a better living for ourselves. So that brought me to America, and I've been in America now for 5 years, going to 6 years. So what we are actually looking at today is something that will, you see, the way I narrated my story, there is nurses in Nigeria, many nurses in Nigeria who do not have that opportunity to have the same story as I have. And even there are some that have the opportunity, but the Nursing and Midwifery Council is trying to make it even more difficult for nurses in Nigeria to have the opportunity to better their life. For even nurses in Nigeria that are produced on a yearly basis. I did an analysis one time and I was able to come to a round figure, just a rough estimate. So in every hospital, every state in Nigeria has school of nursing and then universities that offer nursing training. So most of these schools, they graduate nurses in their numbers. At least in every exam year, let me say a minimum of 40 to 50 nurses are graduated per institution. Some states has up to like 6 institutions, some up to 8. Nurses are coming out from those institutions every year, and there are no jobs for them. As I'm talking to you, Chinedu, if you look, if you have a hospital in Nigeria that needs nurses, I can provide them with more than they need. I can provide them with almost 1,000 nurses, because if you advertise today, there are no employments anywhere. If you advertise today, a lot of nurses will apply for those positions. So we are here to deliberate on some. We haven't even gone into the issue. There are so many issues that is on ground that we are going to go into. But just to answer your question, we are here to deliberate on an issue that will affect the welfare of nurses in Nigeria. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Why I highlighted you was as I want the whole world to be seeing us and know that it's an interview. And you have said it all. You were in Nigeria. You felt what the nurses are feeling today. You went through the process. That's why I said, what triggered you to 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 come up to advocate for the common man? You're already in the US, so you are not. You have already migrated to this place, but you are feeling the pulse of those who are home. And if processes are bottlenecked to create difficulties for their migration, I know you consider that. It's
Mm-hmm.
because you have passed through that. If you did not, my brother, you will not feel it.
That's true.
If you are a yo, you will not remember that there are people that will pass through that. So I
That's true.
thank you for that passion. I thank you for that empathy. I thank the college of people in the nurses, all this your association, who have this empathy to advocate for those who are yet to become who you are now.
Sounds
So
good.
I think it's a moral conscious journey, and we're happy having you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll go into the real
Sorry,
business.
sorry. I just want to make a comment, please, about what you just said. In as much as this affected more the nurses that are living in Nigeria, I also want to state that it also affects nurses living abroad, each and every one of us here. Because I just told you I migrated from Nigeria to the United Kingdom. Now, before moving from the United Kingdom to the USA, you will have to still go back and verify with your primary country of training, which is Nigeria. All right. So I wouldn't have even been able to migrate from the United Kingdom if I don't verify first and foremost, even though I was practicing at that time in the United Kingdom, but I still needed to go back and verify. In fact, the verification of the United Kingdom was optional. It was optional. I mean, even though I did that, but I may not have even done it. The main verification they needed was from Nigeria. So that my migration from United Kingdom to the USA wouldn't have even been possible, even though I have graduated for the past 14 years and I've been practicing nursing since then. That wouldn't have been possible if there was no seamless process of verification of nurses. And also, for some of us who are going for higher education, sometimes the university may need you to go back and verify your licensing with your country. So even if you have gone out of Nigeria in the past 20 years, there may be need for you to still go back. In fact, moving from one state to practice in another state in the US, there may also be need for them to request for your verification
I think my
back
wife.
in Nigeria.
I think my wife just did have verification because
Thank you.
we
So,
moved from North Dakota to Missouri, and they are not the same. They are not operating the same level. So
of
I don't
course,
know. I don't know professionally.
so
I don't know.
this is a
There was
global
verification.
is a global problem for nurses. It's not just for nurses in Nigeria. So when we are talking on behalf of nurses globally. Thank you.
Thank you,
Okay.
Zube, for bringing that up.
Yeah, that's great. And it's good because I was almost closing it up to those who are in Nigeria alone. And what you just said now, I took my mind back to my wife answering because I'm not a professional, but I know he was talking to all this um, nursing council to verify and send her documents for the people here to verify it too. So I think it's a process that can always come up anytime, whether you are home or here. So it's affecting nurses globally. So, okay. So, exactly now we want to, first of all, decency. What is the morality? What is the importance? What is the relevance of the council
Okay.
for
So,
nurses?
yes. So actually, the council was established to regulate the nursing body in Nigeria, to administer exam and regulate those who pass the exam, give them accreditations, and give institution accreditation to administer training. Okay. So if you go into the Nursing and Midwifery Council, their major purpose is to help individuals that desire to be in nursing field to go through a training process and then accredit or attest that they have really passed the exam and let's say, capable of practicing nursing in the country. But they are not the one to say that somebody is capable of practicing practicing nursing in another country. So now, what is the challenge is that there is mobility of labor. You can decide not to work in Nigeria, you can decide to work anywhere, and that's your right. That's your fundamental human right. So if somebody now says, I have gone through a school and I have graduated, and you, Nursing and Midwifery Council, said that I have graduated, you gave me a result and said I can practice nursing. Now, tell somebody who is in Ghana, who is the Nursing and Midwifery Council in Ghana, tell them that I am a nurse in Nigeria. Just don't say anything. Just tell them that you have given me exam and I have passed the exam you gave me. Now, Nursing and Midwifery Council will say no, that they will not. That before you will do that, you will bring an arm and a leg before they will be able to. But this is something you have already obtained. So if Nursing and Midwifery Council license is a property that you buy, you have already purchased it. But the person that sold it to you, you paid all your dues, you paid for your council, you paid the person that gave it to you or sold it to you now says, I am laying claim on the property that you have purchased. Though it's your license, but you cannot do anything you want with it. So that is the major problem. That is the bone of contention for this gathering. We're asking questions. We have looked at other countries individually. Chinedu, the way we are talking now, both of us are in the US. I believe you know people or professionals who are in the US also. Nobody is complaining of that in the US here. Why? Because if we go online now, it takes me and you just 5 minutes to do our verification of our license in the US. So testing both sides, we are now asking, what is the academic, professional, clinical benefit of this rule that they are bringing? It's not going to help anybody. It's not going to add to our professional excellence. It won't add to our clinical knowledge. All that this rule will do is to stagnate people and disqualify people and create avenue for corruption. People will start formulating, selling, and being a stumbling block unnecessarily to other people's progress. You understand? So that's the reason why we are here. And then for us that are in the US, like Nzube said, we can't even think of, if I want to come to Missouri now to come and work, if I remember that I have to go and do my verification, I will say, no, I can't do it because I don't want to go through that stress. So why can't we have, in a modern age of technology, why can't we have a seamless approach through which we can do our verification without problem and in a timely manner? That's the question that if Nursing and Midwifery Council is watching, we want them to answer. So thank you, Chinedu, for the question.
Okay. Nzube, I would like to hear from you now. So,
Okay.
what can you add to what Decency said?
I'm just saying that just like we already hear, the problem we are discussing has to do with the current verification guideline, which states that verification has to the time frame for every verification has to be for at least a period of 6 months, has to last for a period of 6 months, as against the few weeks, or rather the few days that we have experienced just few months ago. Secondly, I think they also require that if all new graduates of nurses must have spent a period of 2 years in Nigeria, practicing in Nigeria, before they are able to, come forward for international verification, I assume. And then thirdly, that anybody who must be verified, before now, there is always the secondary school verification, which you just have to send recharge card to them and they do the verification themselves. And then the School of Nursing verification, which is never an issue. All you needed to do was to follow up with your school and they will send your good standing to council. and then council will do the last verification. But currently, they are now adding that you have to go and meet your hospital CEO, which is probably the CMD, Chief Medical Director, or as the case may be, to write a letter of good standing for you as a nurse before you are able to, before council, Nursing and Midwifery Council that trained you and certified you or licensed you is able to verify you. And I think the last one is the increment in fee. Initially, it was 30 something thousand, if I'm not mistaken, or 20. Or I think it was 15,000
It was
at some point.
8,500.
8,000, and then moved from them to 15,000 to 30 something thousand. Currently, it's 68,000 or thereabout. And then they have moved it to 300 and something thousand. Let me quickly tell you something. I left Nigeria as a senior nursing officer, and that's about 2 cadres to a chief nursing officer. And that's having worked for 8 years as a nurse in a federal institution, in a tertiary institution. All right. And my salary was around 104,000 as at that time. So if I have to pay 300,000 to verify, so which means I don't have to pay house rent, I don't have to feed my family, I don't have to do anything. I have to keep my salary for at least a period of 3 months without doing any of this thing, maybe outsourcing money to be able to pay 300,000 naira just for verification. So these are the 4 major things that we are kicking against. We are saying that this is myopic. This is completely, it's completely counterproductive. It's a decision that was taken in an uninformed, basis. There is no conventional basis for that decision. I must tell you the truth. And as we go on in the discussion, we can start taking the points one after another. And I hope that Nursing and Midwifery Council will hear us and hear our cry and not take back this profession to the Stone Age. That's what we're asking for. In the United Kingdom, I did my verification. Immediately, I submitted my verification after a few hours or few minutes as your network works. They sent me a congratulatory message. Thank you for having worked for us as a nurse in the United Kingdom. We wish you all the best now that you are progressing to work in. I can't remember the wordings, but I'm just trying to paraphrase what they sent me as a mail. They are happy that you have decided to sojourn to another country to continue your practice. All right. So when the current Nursing and Midwifery Council Secretary General, I must tell you the truth. He has done so well. He has done so well, starting from, reducing, even computerizing the verification process. In fact, at some point, if you just do it a few days after you receive your verification, I'm telling you, just last year, because my wife had to do that, even with the exam processes and all that, I must give it to him. But this particular one, I can tell you, is just like a man who finished building a mansion and decided to tear it down back. This is all he has done. And so we are saying that Nursing and Midwifery Council has no choice but to revert to status quo or change the current provision entirely. Thank you.
Okay, great. I think we'll have to listen to Anselm this time. Anselm, what will you say?
Thank you, Chinedu. So just like my peers had mentioned in the past, I'm still going to, base my discussion on some of these guidelines that we are not happy about. We are protesting, and we are trying to see how these guidelines can be reverted. The minimum verification time frame, which is 6 months. Now, the registrar of the Nigerian Nursing and Midwifery Council, in his Channel TV interview, I think that was Channel TV interview.
Yeah.
He said he was trying to do things based on international standard. I wish he was really doing things. So I wish he really initiated things based on international standard. We wouldn't be here lamenting. We would be very, very happy. Very, very happy. Now, why am I saying that? Okay, one point. Minimum verification time frame, which is 6 months. Which country? What country did he borrow that from? What international standard did he borrow that from? Did he consult? Did he even consult people or other professionals or people practicing outside Nigeria? Did he consult? Did he even consult stakeholders to find out, okay, what are the international standards? We have here people who have practiced, people in diaspora who have practiced in different places: Ireland, UK, US, Canada, Australia. There's nothing you will never.
He said it was US and UK they do it everywhere, US and UK. And I'm wondering, we have a UK nurse here. I mean, I'm a US nurse, and all of us we can't prove that. You understand?
So next time, when people are doing things and they want to do their thing based on international standard, they should consult stakeholders. They should do their research. They should do their due diligence before they come out and bring out a shabby guideline and come on national TV to support that guideline, to lie that you are following international standard, because this is by far below international standard, by far below.
Yeah.
In fact, you brought us from, let's say we were struggling, we were in first 10 before you brought us to below 100. I'm telling you. So that is one. A verification can never last, even more than 1 day. It's difficult when you want to apply international standard. It's difficult to see any country that would hold your verification down for more than 1 day. Few minutes in the US, at most hours in the UK and other countries too, because there's nothing. Is not a serious job. Thank God we in National Military Council in Nigeria, things are now done online. So wherever you key in that nurse's registration number on your portal, it tells you if this person is licensed to practice in Nigeria or not, and that is all what they need.
You want to do.
That is all what they need. You don't need to start digging to know if that person did this kind of education or not, but you license that person. That is the most important thing. You license that person. That is one point. Then secondly,
sorry, to add to what you have said, sorry, I'm not cutting you short, Anselm. You will continue on that point, but just to add to what you have mentioned now. So there are nurses in the US that maybe by virtue of relocation, they have gone into a state that require them to do a verification. So you know that if those nurses do not provide those verifications, they cannot work, right? So with these 6 months, what it means is that those nurses are going to stay 6 months out of job because they are Nigerians. Just which offense did they commit? No offense, because they are Nigerians and because they have someone who is piloting the affairs of Nursing and Midwifery Council, running it backward instead of forward. Continue your point, please.
Just like I was saying, still on that first point, just like this as you mentioned, another point is this. For instance, you're engaging an organization or a job to offer you an employment. Do you think that job is going to waste 6 months for you to do your verification?
No.
Before they offer you an employment?
No.
It's
No
not
job
possible.
will wait for you.
No job will wait for you for 6 months. No job. That is, by the way. Well, I'm going to go to the second point on the guideline, which is post verification requirements. What is it saying? It's saying that you have to have practiced for 2 years before they can verify you. How come? Why that kind of guideline? I can decide to school anywhere in the country or anywhere in the world and not decide to practice in that country. I can decide to school in UK, get licensed, take their board exam, get licensed, but decide not to practice in the UK, maybe because of a better opportunity somewhere else. So are you trying to tell me when I move to somewhere else to practice, and I come and tell you, oh, I have a job here, cancel, please. They need to verify that I actually was a nurse licensed in Nigeria. All what they are saying is license. They did not ask you of my work experience. They are not requiring my work experience. If they need my job experience, I'll provide them with places I've worked in the past, and they will go and verify that I worked in those places in the past. All what they are telling council to is confirm this guy was a nurse in Nigeria, or he's licensed as a nurse in Nigeria. Because if I'm licensed, my name will still be in your register. Just confirm that. And what is happening? They are trying to say you must spend 2 years working in Nigeria before. In fact, basically, what they are saying is before you travel out, or before, you must have to work in Nigeria for 2 years. Did Nigeria pay my school fees? Did the federal government pay my school fees? Did the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria pay my school fees? No. I paid my school fees by myself. And I can decide to practice anywhere and live anytime. This is more like an imprisonment. Yes, you can call it that, an imprisonment. The third point is this: letter of endorsement from hospital CEO. Why is the council subjecting nurses to exploitation? Why? This is one question I've been trying to find, get an answer. We all know how Nigeria. I was once I practiced in Nigeria for up to 10 years.
Hello, Anselm, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
1 minute, one technical something.
Okay.
Let me pull up the notification on Facebook. I don't know what they are doing.
That's fine.
We're just having 13 people alone watching. Don't worry. There's something I want to connect to.
Okay.
Okay, you can go on. Go ahead.
I practiced in Nigeria for 10 years, 10 good years. And when I was in Nigeria, I was involved, even Nzube, we worked in the same hospital. We were involved in NAM politics. NAM is kind of a nursing union that is more like a union and an association, a trade union that fights for the interests of nurses. I was not even though I was never an ESCO of NAM, but I worked very, very closely with NAM to make sure nurses were not being exploited back in Nigeria. We knew what so many nurses faced. We knew from the hands of the management. And when you come out to speak against the management will not, of course, they will try to do some, ill things to you, but they can't succeed because you are working with the union, But imagine you were a union leader and you want to leave the country, you come and meet the management or the CEO, being the CMD, who, in quote, he's someone you don't see, that does not see you, you guys don't see eye to eye. You come and meet that person that you need a letter of endorsement or letter of good standing stating that you were good when you were working. So why do you need that for my verification? Does the CMD, does he know about my license? As in, was he the one who gave me my license? The National Midwifery Council gave me my license. This can further lead to serious sexual harassment. This can lead.
Please try and code this thing because of our regulation. So,
No, but I'm being.
But I said code the language. Code
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I'm being frank.
You don't understand what I'm saying. I said don't use that word. It will offend
Because of
Facebook,
Facebook
Instagram,
regulation.
and
Oh, okay,
YouTube.
okay.
Yeah, it's against the
I,
regulation.
okay, then, okay. In general, this can lead to exploitation. Scratch my back, I scratch your back.
No, not be exploited. You feel call them ta. You feel call them knocking. You feel tell them
Okay.
anything. Because,
They can tell you. They
mhm,
can tell you. Okay, before I give you this letter, you must
go
have to come
knock.
and meet me here.
Go knock.
Let us discuss this before I give you this letter. Or it can also go into. It can also result to financial exploitation. Also, where you have agents working for the CMDs of this hospital. Okay, you need this letter. Don't worry, bring money. I'll give it to you today or tomorrow. But that is it for that point. Then the fee increase. Something that was this cost of verification when I did mine, it was 8,500. We watched it go up to 68,000 now, and we want to still watch it go up to 300,000. So will I be a good person if I did something for 8,500 and I'm watching it within the space of few years, within the space of 4 years, it's going up to 300,000. 300,000. If I don't speak out because I'm in the US now, I don't want to speak out. It might even affect someone I know tomorrow. It might even affect me tomorrow if I want to move over to another state. So that is why I said I must speak out. I must be part of this fight. The next one is letter of endorsement from nursing supervisor. This is basically in your department, you have the head of nursing services or you have the head nurse.
What's happening?
Your mic is muted.
Your
Change
That's
your
mic,
mind.
your mic. Can hear.
It's not muted. There's no sign of muting.
okay.
Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, let me continue on his point while we wait on him. So you see, all these things he's mentioning, they are very heavy points. It's just that the way we are mentioning it, it looks like it's a small issue. It's very heavy. It's very, very heavy. So what he has said in essence is that if there is a room for corruption to breed in an economy, people should at least try as much as possible to avoid it. You understand? In a very sane economy. But we have all, by the virtue of this circular that was presented, what the National Military Council has done is to create avenues for corruption to thrive. That's just it. You understand? So, Chinedu, I was watching some of your documentaries and I saw where you were, I think you sent some people home and they were giving money out like a charity. That's
Yeah.
a good thing. That's
Yeah.
a good thing that you're doing. So you're doing it because you're here and those people are back there, and then you're giving money that you earned here. You're taking it back home to give to people. You understand? So now, National Military Council don't even want people to come abroad. They want the hardship that is happening in Nigeria to continue, and then they don't want people to even help us in the hardship. You know how much that diasporans remit to Nigeria every single day? Calculate all the number of nurses. Let me not say all the number of Nigerians, number of nurses abroad sending money back home to their relations. All those money support our economy and they help the dollar to be where it is. You understand? But they are not looking at it like that. All they want is, if I cannot get it, then you too, you should not get it. It's just like those play that we play when we were small. If you are standing, I will push you down. If you cannot, if I cannot stand, you cannot stand. No.
Onye kwụrụ temede ya soro nweze ga-akwụ
Exactly.
ọtọ n'ụwa.
Exactly. That's it. That's it. That's what's going on. Oh. Because this thing that we are talking about, this thing we are talking about now, is not going to put any money in the pocket of the registrar. This thing that he just implemented, he's not going to put money in his pocket. But I think somehow some people behind the policy, they will be happy that if they cannot get it, then the children of the poor masses should not get it. You understand? They should stay there. And if there is any problem that is in Nigeria, we should die in it. No, there are better ways than Nigeria can handle what they call brain drain. But I don't think there is brain drain. I've been watching the internet. I have people looking for job. I've been checking to see when National Hospital will advertise. When all these hospitals check them, most of them 2 years ago, since 2 years, they've not advertised. What they are doing is internal recruitment. If you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody, before you know it, you get a job and start work. But I've not seen any publication stating that they are starting work or they're advertising. So what we are asking the government is work with diasporans. There are better ways. We are producing nurses every day. Those nurses do not have a job. There are better ways. And there are some nurses in Nigeria who are not even interested in going out. It's not every nurse that can go out. Let me tell you, anybody who's on this program is not just a nurse. We are nurses who have taken an extra step in taking foreign exams. And not every nurse can do it. Some people are contented where they are. They don't want to move forward. So for those people that want to move to other countries, I believe they should have the opportunity to move to those countries. So that is what I'm asking today. If the government is hearing us, if the National Military Council is hearing us, they should not push down their young nurses, because they used to tell us in Nigeria that children are the leaders of tomorrow, right? We cannot be leaders of tomorrow if the National Military Council is already mortgaging those tomorrow of ours. Okay? If our tomorrow is already mortgaged, we cannot be leaders of tomorrow. All right? So that's my point. And I think Aselem is back. He can continue his point.
Sorry, viewers, because I was I'm using my phone on this live session. A call entered. I ended the call, but somehow it already disrupted my network. So that was why I was not being heard. So I've exhausted almost everything I have to say on the letter. Then we have this letter from School of Training, which is another point in that listed on the guideline. Now, there's no need for me to go to my school or where I did training how many years ago, over 18 years ago, to go get letter from the School of Training and give for me to get my verification from the National Military Council of Nigeria. Moreover, any body or any institution trying to employ me is still going to seek for that letter from the school. So it's like I'm doing the same thing over and over again. I'll get from the school, give to the body trying to give me employment. I also get from the school, give to the council. When council already council already licensed me because I schooled there. Council has all these records. Council knows where I schooled. That was why they actually licensed me. So why do I have to go back to get a letter again from the school? So they try to make all this whole process cumbersome and exhausting. So when some people think of embarking in the journey of verification, they give up. Why trying to stress nurses? Why trying to bewitch nurses? Because this is this guideline is something that has actually, if is to be implemented, is something that will take nurses like 50 years backward. I'm telling you, it's going to take the profession 50 years backward or more. Taking us to the Stone Age. This is unacceptable. This is not so. This is the height of irresponsibility on the part of the council. I'm telling you, and they have to do something about it. We are pleading that they should revert whatever things they put in that guideline. That it is unacceptable by nurses. Nurses have been protesting, but I believe is been falling on a deaf ear. But we are not going to back down. We're not going to back down. We are going to fight this with everything we have. This is one of the things we are doing to try to let the council hear us out and to give them reasons. And we also have recommendations. If they need recommendations, we have recommendations. We have the international standard of practice, international standard of verification. They can consult stakeholders here. They can consult us. We can furnish them with these things. And they can go and verify. Yes, they can go and verify. And when they go and verify, they are going to confirm that they are setting us backward for nothing. Thank you very much. I think I'll end someone else.
Let me just Chinedu, I don't know if I'm ready, if I can go ahead. Hello?
I think you can go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Let me just quickly add. Apart from the fact that the current guideline is an infringement on every nurse's fundamental human right of choice of living anywhere, choice of existence as a nurse, choice of practice, deciding to practice, move to any part of the world, all right, which we are already tackling or we're already on, because definitely we are not also neglecting the law aspect of it. We're already tackling that. I also want to add that I believe that this is an intention, just like my brother Decency mentioned, to propagate, or rather to stop brain drain, as they have explained it. Somebody in Nigeria may think that, oh, people are leaving Nigeria so much. And I thought so as well until I migrated abroad. Pakistanis, the way they move from their country, they move in drones. India, Nigerians don't even go abroad. Go to the UK. If you count every 10 Norths, about 5 or 6 are Indians or Pakistanis. If you count, you can come to a particular facility and the whole, almost the 80% of the doctors are Indians. Go and check. The same thing with UK, Australia, Canada, Dubai, Saudi Arabia, Singapore. Filipinos, they are migrating. Pakistanis are migrating in drones. Their government is even building more schools. Nepals, they are migrating. Nigerians have not even, we're not even doing anything because they have seen that this is rather brain gain. And like I told somebody, like I've experienced, Indians, you work with them, especially the doctors, the consultants, and then within a space of 6 months, you will not see them. They say they've gone back to India. What are they doing there in India? They've gone to give back to the country. They've gone to, so rather than thinking that this is a brain drain on the part of Nigeria, I want Northern Africans and the government to rethink, to have a rethink. Instead of trying to stop your people from having a global experience, I can tell you that each and every one of us on this life now has planned back home. We have planned. So many, I have not seen a Nigerian who grew up in Nigeria. 80% of Nigerians who grew up, if you ask them, do you want to go back home? They'll tell you yes. Why? I'm telling you, people who grew up at least to their 30s. I'm not talking about people who came at a young age or people who didn't. People who went to university in Nigeria, worked a little bit, formed friends. They want to go back home. They want to go back and make the difference. Nobody is happy here. I mean, we are comfortable, but we want to go back home and make the difference. So why are they stopping people? This is rather going to be a brain gain, just like it has been for other countries. You cannot be talking about health today without talking about India. You have not started. You cannot be talking about health care as long as today is concerned without talking about India. Go to the UK, you understand what I'm, to the point that even the Prime Minister, today I read one of his posts on Facebook where he was trying to, because he's facing serious racism. You know, even the Prime Minister is now an Indian, just so as to tell you how much they have infiltrated the United Kingdom. All right, so Nigerians should be allowed, because somebody told me that, or rather, we all know that this is just, they are using nursing to test run this. They are still going to other professions. All right. What we are saying is that Nigerians should be allowed. It is no story that is not working in our country. Things are not good. Why don't you allow your people, instead of caging them back, allow your people to go out there, have the experience, come back and develop the country with the knowledge that they have, that they have gathered by funding the private sector. Governments cannot do everything.
Oh, we lost Nzube on that thought, and he was really making a very important point.
Yes, allow these professionals to go out, get the needed dollar, and come back home and invest it. This is what we're asking. I hope that Northern Africans is going to have a rethink on this. Now, I was also discussing with somebody back home, and the person suggested that one of the reasons why Northern Africans started, asking for CEOs, for people to get a letter of good standing from CEOs before they are approved, is because, people do a lot of things, a lot of atrocities in their hospitals, and before they know it, they've traveled to Canada. Before you know it, they've traveled to UK and all that, because they know they are leaving. Now, if you feel that somebody has not done well as a hospital, all Northern African is going to request is for the hospitals to send, just report the person to the council.
It's done
Which is
here.
what even engineers does. Just report the person into the. Northern America has the capacity to write to the body here, and I'll be and my stand will be questioned. Even though I've been practicing here, my stand can be questioned because the people that trained you are saying that there is an issue. You know, that you need to go back home and correct something. Somebody may be saying, "Oh, it's not right," but there is some sense of truth in it. The people that trained you back home is saying that we are noticing something about this person's training. Nobody can ignore, no country can ignore such an alert, such a red alert on anybody. So if anybody has not done well, National African Council can only request the institution or the CEO or whoever to report the person to council, and council will take necessary steps. Instead of trying to cage our autonomy as nurses, because this is also what they are not seeing. They're not also seeing that what you're doing is that you're taking your autonomy from your own hands and you're putting it in the hands of another person. They're not seeing that. That before your nurses can call you on the phone, in fact, when your nurses call you on the phone, please, I need verification. Say, please, have you met your doctor, Dr. Susan Suso? Have you met him? Because we don't think we have gotten a letter from him. This is literally what it is. This is literally what it is. Or have you met one businessman who is probably the CEO of the hospital? Have you met him to verify you? All right. So in literal sense, this is what it is. So what we are saying is that there should be an urgent rethink. This in no way supports progress. This in no way suggests any form of conventional thinking. So I am thinking that the National African Council, whatever it is that they have brought out, is for us, nurses globally, both abroad and in Nigeria, is unacceptable. And they should go back to the construction table and do the right thing. Thank you.
Thank you, Nzube. Wow, that's a very heavy one, and a nice way to look at this very issue. There's a lot that could have been done in the right way if people were actually consulted. Because I know here in the US, some people have done things that led them to be called by the State Board of Nursing, and those are every institution has a reporting system. They have the numbers, they have their emails. Council can drop a hotline, for this hospital instead of having us go to this hospital to request a letter of good standing. Every nurse who have passed council is declared fit to practice nursing until proven otherwise, which is that hotline that council can bring. That's a recommendation. Drop a hotline, drop a hot email that you can start taking queries on. And then know that it's not every query that is given was given with a good intention, because some people might actually fabricate lies against your nurses, and that's where most state board of nursing here, they are here to speak for nurses. So if CEOs and the hospital owners and everybody reports a particular nurse, the state will come to investigate. So there should be a panel, an investigative panel within the council that will be set up primarily for that hotline that they are going to be dropping. So if any nurse was, reported through the hotline, this council can come and say, nurse, come to Abuja. CEO, find a representative, sent to Abuja. Let us evaluate what happened. You can even send some people to the facility. Let those people go in a manner that nobody knows that they are coming. Ask cleaners what happened. Ask people that you can get information from. The case between this doctor and this person. Oh, yes, I know what really happened. And those cleaners can be grapevine. They will tell you what actually happened in that case. And you go back to the council and decide on the case. Whether the nurse will continue there or not continue there is the decision of the nurse. If the nurse say, oh, I'm being maltreated or mistreated in this place, I want to go to another hospital and work. That is the decision of the nurse. But this case of hospital CEO can just be solved by council providing the CEO a letter, providing them a hotline or an email for communication. So if any nurse is not doing well, they can be reported through that system.
And is even one of the duties of the council. You understand?
Yeah.
When they set up a tribunal. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So will you wait until the nurse wants to leave and now start investigating if the nurse has
Exactly.
you know
Mm-hmm.
any
That's the thing. So if a nurse is bad, they can continue to be bad until when they want to leave, you bring to
that
memory.
let me come and say you have been a good nurse. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't make any sense. So if a nurse has been practicing those standard or has been, malpractice, has been doing a kind of a crime or whatever it is, you know, the hospital or the institution that nurse is working for is mandated to report to the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria. After that, the council will set up a tribunal to investigate, or what really is the issue, and not waiting till a nurse is about to leave the country. You now bring about all these guidelines that are irrational, and bring out some reasons to back up those guidelines. And those reasons does not really make any sense. It falls, like I said, far below the international standard the registrar said he's trying to uphold. So we have to go back to the drawing board and look into those issues again. In looking into those issues, we have to consult with stakeholders. We have so many organizations outside Nigeria. For
Mm-hmm.
instance, even different associations of Nigerian nurses that are in diaspora. For instance, none than I have a partner with what council on whatever level on whatever level the partner, I don't know, but Nana also a good stakeholder that the council has to listen to and find out. Okay, how are things done in the US? And I believe they are going to point out to them how things are done in the US. It's only a nurse who is not progressive that will look at that guideline and say, oh, this guideline is good. Come on, could go ahead, right? And
Mm-hmm.
somebody from council that was that a call was put across to someone from council, and the reason the person gave for these guidelines is how.
Hello, 1 minute. Decency,
Yes.
can you see the number of people watching us, viewing?
Let me look at that.
We have like 255 people watching live.
Decency, your mic is mute.
The program is supposed to be rebroadcasted because we have quite a large number of people that should benefit from the information we are giving right now.
Yeah, no, I know about that, but at least this live program, if people can share the live program, some people might not have access to others. But if you can talk to your people in that, like I've sent you the Facebook link, they can link up in the Facebook. You understand? Share it in their page, share it in those their what do you call it? Those their group.
Group.
You will see a lot of people will be listening to you people. So we have to be
Yeah.
detailed. So we don't need to rush. So that after this we can pick up the record and repost the record and also make it, because this thing, the way I'm planning it now, I just contacted somebody now. We need to bring staff or management of nursing and
That's not
midwifery
verification.
here and bring one or two of you. So I even have plan. The House of Rep member that is chairman on healthcare. I have his contact. I can talk to him. Maybe we can host him, somebody from that not midwifery council, and some of you. We need to make this thing. No, Nigerians
Yes.
cannot. We cannot fold our arms and start suffering like that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That is correct.
but we'll have a good audience. For people to be
Okay.
253 live watching us, I think we'll have a good audience. If they can share this 253 people can share it on their pages, it will go far.
Okay. Sounds good. So that point that we are really discussing on the point of the hospital CEOs being given our autonomy, what is supposed to be our own right, you understand, is now being handed to the hospital CEOs. Is something that if council can be brought here, we will tell them with evidence how it is done in other countries, and then they can learn, you
Isn't
know. So yeah,
and all the guidelines, like there's none that makes any sense. There's none that makes. I'm trying to make it make sense to me, but I can't really. I can't.
so
Like
yes,
when you are trying to make something like okay, let's view this thing from different point of view, but it cannot make sense on any level. You know,
that's true.
it cannot make sense. This is
That's true. There's something I remembered, Anselm. You know, the way we are saying that, nurses should be given letter of good standing, and then maybe we're also looking at it the other way, in the reversed way, is that those hospitals can call council or email council with any case that they feel that a
yeah,
nurse has, and then the nurse can be called to, answer those questions.
yeah, they are,
Also, council should be transparent enough. Council needs to be transparent. They need to be able to produce in a year, at the end of whatever that is their physical year, they should produce to us the number of nurses that we have in Nigeria. They should tell us. You understand? They should tell us the number of that same nurses that we have in Nigeria that are working. And then tell us the number of those nurses that are not working. And then for those that are working, they should be able to organize state by state and have a way of motivating them. Because if you are trying to make a law that will only catch thief, and you're not making a law that will encourage those people that are doing well to do well even more, the law is not balanced. You understand? Council should find a way to motivate, award, and compensate those that are working. You understand? If they are coming into practice, because for much that I know, their jurisdiction is in the registry, as registering a registered nurse, making that person become a nurse, and the person is practicing. The person is given license to practice. But if they are to regulate practice, they should also reward and be transparent and open enough to tell us what's going on. Because nobody has been able to produce a statistic to say, oh, our healthcare system is suffering. No hospital in Nigeria has been able to say we lack nurses. No report anywhere. Why the alarm? It's just like there is no problem and somebody is blowing alarm. The day you blow alarm and there is real problem, nobody will listen to you, because you're always blowing alarm that there is problem. As this alarm that they are blowing now, there is no problem at all. I have nurses, friends, relatives, family that are not working. They are registered nurses in Nigeria and they are not working. They don't have job. Is there a way that council can liaise with employers to even know that, okay, once you finish, council can help 50 nurses, 100 nurses to get a job? If that is the case, if they have to do it, then they should do it very well. You say somebody should not travel and the person does not have a job, it's not your problem. Take responsibility for the action you're taking. If you say people should not go elsewhere to get a job, then be able and be open to give them a job. Be transparent enough to tell us how many people we have in Nigeria that doesn't have a job. And I believe me, we can produce with statistics, nurses that are on our page constantly, every day, begging to be employed so that they can work for Nigeria.
Okay, what we know is that there are things in Nigeria that we cannot deny. We know that there is heavy unemployment in Nigeria. And we know that even those our nurses are not fairly treated as nurses. And we know that even those nurses you are seeing there, even where they are working, nobody will work there and still take care of their family as a professional. So a lot of things that are not put in place, are you hearing me, is responsible, is a factor that will propel somebody to leave the country. Especially when you know that when you go to another place and do the same thing you are doing in Nigeria, are you hearing me? You will earn better. There's nobody, even the person in that council that enacted this law, knows that if he sees a better place in his life, he cannot remain in the council. So I think that if they want to see how they regulate how people japa in Nigeria, let them start from some other things, and they should do it to be civil. I believe that. See, there is something you said here that is very striking: the concept of synergy, the issue of synergy. You see, one of the things they do abroad here is that everything is connected. So if you don't have data, you can't connect everything. First of all, the council should go into data first. Have a correct data of nurses, how they graduate, and how they are verified, and those who are authentic members, those whose license have expired, those whose license, everything will be in a good shape. Then, if you need some comments from the hospital, you can create it in a system whereby the hospitals that feel that there is a query for somebody, you can create an alert system that tells the hospital that a nurse working with them wants to travel.
Mhm.
And they can just make a comment in 2 minutes. Not to, I am very sure that for somebody to even see CMD, it might take you 1 month before you see CMD. For you to even see CMD to look at your paper.
That all those things is factors they are not considering.
Yes, don't even want to talk about.
So
And you know they have the
Before
CMDs, they have gate watchers, right? You know you cannot just go to the office of CMD. You have to pass through the secretary, and maybe some of them have 2 or 3 secretaries and PROs.
Nwachukwu Chinaza is Decency Onyekachi, not Decency Onyinyechi.
Okay. All right. So the whole thing that we are saying in actual sense is that if they really mean well, we don't see any element in that circular that shows that they really mean well for nurses. And then we're also seeing it that even President Tinubu should have, whoever that brought out that circular, President Tinubu should go after the person because he's trying to block an avenue of diaspora remittances. You understand? You know, this is an avenue that if the economy is not in good shape today, what they can encourage is diaspora remittance. You can tell me how countries like Philippines, how they are thriving. You know, it's almost like every family in Philippines has a registered nurse working abroad. It's almost
India.
like every family. And then those nurses also turn back to do some projects back home. You know, I was looking at council inviting the diasporans, at least say that you're having a diasporan conference and you're inviting all the nurses in diaspora, they should come to Abuja, let us reason together. You understand? Organize a conference like that, invite all the diasporans, and you will see we will show up, we will come there. We will come there and then we will come with knowledge that we have gained. And that knowledge is what will help Nigeria, both helping Nigerian economy and helping Nigerian health institution. Because there's so many corruption already. So anytime you see that they are producing or creating a law in the system, is another. See, there are people there who will tell you, don't worry, letter of good standing, I will give it to you. They will sell it. Letter of good standing may be sold for 300,000. If the verification is 300,000, tell me how a nurse that is paid. I know a nurse that just got a job in Abuja. The salary is 25,000 naira. How many months will it take that nurse to save just the money for verification alone? The job offer of employment letter was everywhere on the internet. The person was said, congratulations, you have gotten a job, your salary shall be 25,000 naira. The 25,000 naira I think, is less than $10. That's what somebody will work for 1 full month to receive $10. And the council is not saying, I want to regulate how much the general public pays my nurses. Had it been that the council came up to say, I want us to not pay nurses anything less than 50,000 or anything less than 100,000, it will add value to nursing profession. It will add value. If the Nursing and Midwifery Council had made a way to recognize nurses, even the way that they are recognizing other professions, doctors, pharmacists, they are recognizing them. If you come to a hospital, for instance, they always have doctors' quarters. They put doctors on call and give them doctors' quarters. If nurses have their own quarters, have their own assistances from the government, most of them will not leave. Government should look for ways to incentivize the nursing profession. They should give them incentives. They should encourage them to stay, make the working condition, encouraging. I can remember when I used to work in Nigeria. I can remember many times we have come to work. We don't have things to work with. There is no glove. There is no spirit. There is no savlon. There is nothing. We want to use scissors. To the extent that some of us, we used to buy our own glove. We used to buy our own spirit. We buy our own savlon. We buy our own scissors. We put it in our pocket. We write our name on it. These are things that should be provided for everybody. Why will it be difficult? I'm not saying the government is to be blamed with all these things, because even the masses has a role to play in this. I remember one day I was working, I won't mention the name of the hospital. We have carried a patient into the OR. We noticed that the anesthesia monitor was missing. We looked for this because we've prepared the OR, we've set everything up, and then somebody has come to steal our monitor. Somebody that is an insider. The person stole it and put it in the nowhere we found our monitor was in the roof. Somebody just opened the roof, put it there and leave it there. And you're talking about a patient that needs an operation, an emergency operation. So the public, the masses, I'm not saying it's a nurse that did it, because the person that did it is stealing it for another doctor to go and sell it to a doctor that has a hospital in the same city. You understand? So all these things was investigated.
Please, if you are watching and what we are doing, is impressing you and you're watching, please, I want to see many love emoji for Decency Nclex Academy for bringing up this kind of process. Please send love emojis to this comment section to show me that you are reacting positively, affirmatively to what we are discussing. Decency, go on.
Thank you very much. Let me correct something. We are here not as Decency, but as diaspora nurses. It has more weight. Decency is a small boy when it comes to diaspora nurses.
Sorry, diaspora nurses.
Yeah, so in all the nurses in diaspora, they are the ones that send us here.
Johnson,
we are just messengers. We are representatives of diaspora nurses. Okay, so that incident alone shows that there is a role for the general public to play. There is a role for the government to play. All these things can be discussed in a table. They should come to the table. Like you said, we are ready. Any day you call on us and you said the Committee on Health, the representative there can come. And then if the Minister of Health can also come, we will also come. And then somebody from council will come. And we will come with facts. As we are talking, I will be showing them on the internet. Everybody open your phone, type this, put this. I will be doing it one by one, step by step. I will take them through the process of doing verification in the US, in the UK, which are the people, if you want to talk about global practice, international best practice, you are talking about UK and US. You understand? So we will look at it individually. We will look at what Nigeria was doing formerly, what they can do better, not how to, put more restrictions on what is happening in the system already. Thank you very much.
Wow.
So there's something I'd like to also add to what Decency said, just like you had mentioned earlier on. You see, when things are happening, people, especially in Nigeria, our government, they don't want to look into how we can benefit from what is happening, how the country as a whole can benefit from what is happening. Instead, they feel that, okay, it's only meant for this set of people and let us impede them or let us slow down their process of moving. Now, you have noticed that other countries, especially the US and UK, I mean, Ireland is there too. These countries have seen something in your nurses being trained in Nigeria. They have seen your nurses as people who are resourceful, people who they can bring over and practice. Why not also invest in that? And at the end, like, why not be directly involved in that and also get something out of it? They are, for instance, in the Philippines. Do you know the Philippines? They have they have a testing center. Like, so before you go to the US and practice, you have to write what we call the NCLEX, which is a board exam that permits you to practice in the US. But now this board exam can be written in Philippines, it can be written in India, it can be written in South Africa. Now you have nurses moving in large numbers to practice in the US, right? Why can't you attract such testing center there and also benefit from it? Why can't you do that? Why can't you even somehow key in your nurses into that and gain from it? Because it's going to bring revenue. It's going to bring another line of remittance to the country. And this is fact. This is fact. So instead of you to look into how you can benefit positive ways of how you can take advantage of what is happening, what you are trying to do is you are trying to impede the process because you think it's only favoring the nurses or some set of people. So I think the council can do better, the Ministry of Health can do better. So we should keep on promoting or giving them recommendations on how they can strengthen the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria, because it is really their processes are really alarming these days. Thank you.
Yeah, no, Chinedu, before we go forward, I want to mention something that happened. The day that Nursing and Midwifery Council dropped that circular, it went viral. You know what happened that day? So many Nigerian nurses that were with maybe a staffing company, they were written a letter that said your employment or contract with us is going to be terminated because of the new guideline of the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria. This I'm telling you is verifiable. A lot of people lost their job and hope of migrating just because of that circular. A lot.
Wow.
You understand? There's a lot of schools that will need you to do verification. It's not only people that need to go and work that needs verification. Let's talk about people that want to just go for further studies. They still need verification. I know some of them, they were written letters from their schools that they will not be continuing because of the verification. Because verification is going to take 6 months. You have to also consider the amount of time you have to stay before you can get a visa. Right now, we are retrogressed. So any country you're migrating from, you have to spend at least a minimum of 3 years waiting. So you spend 6 years, 2 years for council post-qualification, you spend 6 months to get your verification, then you spend 2 years or 3 years waiting. That is almost like 5 years. If they had asked question and 2 years was their problem, we would tell them that people already stay 2 years by virtue of what is in the system already. Anybody that said today, I want to start the process of traveling out, it will take you 2 years or more for that process to come to light. You understand? So see, this is a golden opportunity that is given to Nigeria at no cost. It's not all countries like US and Canada and UK recruit from. Nigeria has a golden opportunity of being among the country that they are recruiting from. They don't recruit from Pakistan. They don't recruit from Afghanistan. They don't recruit from some of these other countries.
Even some African countries.
Some African countries that don't speak English, they don't even recruit from them. So we have a golden opportunity. In fact, to me, if you ask me, it should be the other way around. It's even these countries that recruit that Nigeria should be lobbying them. If Nigerian government should go lobby them so that they can offer their citizens employment. Because there's something they call technical aid corps that people used to go to before. They call it TAC. Nigeria will go to some countries. I don't know if that is still working in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, but Nigeria go to some countries and send Nigerians to go there and learn skills, and then they come back. This is a free technical aid corps that people are getting. People get it. You go and learn, you come back. The only thing is that there is no flow of communication. There is no avenue that council have created so that those in diaspora can bring in the wealth of knowledge that they have. It has not been created yet. So all these things, okay, now the Nursing and Midwifery Council should have even liaised with the NCLEX body, that's the NCSBN. They should have liaised with them to see how an NCLEX center can be sited in Nigeria. Do you think NCSBN will even cite an NCLEX center in Nigeria if they know your verification takes 6 months? Let me tell you, as I hear, a center is going to Kenya, and Kenyan government is supporting that. The Ministry of Health came out to say, we are bringing a center to our country. This is an African country. We are looking for international standard, right? Kenya, international standard. Kenya, our neighbor. They are doing it, and it is working. Very soon they will install that program, and they will start writing NCLEX in their country. What are they doing by that? They are boosting their economy. They are improving their GDP. Very soon, crude oil will not be our major export again. People are not even looking at, we have almost 200 million or more people in Nigeria, and then some of these people want to study nurses and they don't have a job. Unemployment is at 60 to 70%. Why can't we encourage them to reduce our unemployment rate? You people should go and be employed in other countries. Well, will it remove anything from you? No. Is it affecting the health system? No. Is anybody crying? No. The problem is why the secular. If you have good intention, come and say it. Tell us the benefits. Tell us what it will add to our destiny. It's not all countries, like I said, it's not all countries that people can employ for. So we have that opportunity and we are trashing it away. We say, all these countries, go away, we don't need you. We want to be in the darkness the way we are until God knows what.
Chinedu, I want to add to Decency's point quickly. I just want to add that I want to first of all thank you for offering to give us the link to is it the person in the National Assembly. I think that will also go a long way. But the argument should always be the advantage of allowing your young ones to go and get a foreign exposure, which will definitely be of benefit to the country tomorrow. If you look at countries that are called the first world countries today, Singapore, for example, at a point, Lee Kuan Yew was intentionally sending the young brains from Singapore to go and train as lawyers in the United Kingdom. And they come back to be of impact in the country. Today, Singapore is one of the best countries in the world. The same thing with China. Intentionally, their government was taking their young ones to go and study and come back. India is doing the same today as we speak. If you go to almost all the universities, our brethren in the UK will tell you, almost all the universities in the UK, half of the class is Indians. There is no, go and check, go and ask questions. Right. Chester, Manchester, most of the basic universities in the UK, almost half of the class is Indians. They used to say Nigerians, that half of the class is Indians. I don't know whether they used to, pack them in ships to come out on a yearly basis. Canada, they've taken over Canada. Australia, the same. And these countries are intentionally doing all this. And of course, you can see the effects in their country. Brazil, the same. These are countries that were once third world, are now moving up to first world countries. They are exposing their young ones. Why would you want to impede your own? Why would you want to hide your own? Even in the Bible, for Abraham to become who he eventually became, he moved. He moved. Joseph moved. Jacob moved. Why are you stopping your young ones? Why are you making plans to stop your own young ones with the fallacy that you're lacking staff? There is no hospital if you come to the UK or if you come to the US, you understand what we mean by a hospital or a facility or a health facility lacking staff. You will come and you will just see one doctor or one nurse and they will tell obviously that, but it doesn't happen in Nigeria. Because I can remember how we sit around, even in the AIE, without even having anything to do. People everywhere. People everywhere. There is no hospital currently in Nigeria, whether private hospital or tertiary institution. Let them come and prove it. That they are lacking staff.
We will help them to provide the nurses.
Let them come and prove it. Once they can prove it, we'll rally around and form and organize ourselves and start providing them staff.
Mm-hmm.
I can bet you that. and start providing them staff in Nigeria. We will do that.
Mm-hmm.
There is nobody saying that. There is no health institution, even down to the, it's just that they are not serious at the primary care level, or they are not serious there. So nobody will want to go and work in the village without any compensation. They are not serious. But I can bet you, if they are serious, they will get people to work there.
Mm-hmm.
They will get people to work there. So what are we talking about? So I am thinking that by the time we engage some of these people, let them understand the impact of these things. Even some of these leaders, Obasanjo, they trained that. Obasanjo trained abroad. Tinubu was living in the US at some point. The same thing with Buhari. All of them, all the leaders, all of them, they all trained abroad. They all trained abroad. So why are you stopping your young ones? Why are you stopping your young ones? So as a matter of fact, these people, because I heard that they are also going to go down to doctors and even lawyers and some other lecturers and some other persons. I think this is backward thinking. Anybody who is propagating such, should have a rethink. It's backward thinking. It has nothing to do with international standard. It has nothing to do with global provisions. Nothing. Entirely nothing. And I think that our people should be dashed a thinking cap again to have a rethink on this particular thing that has done nothing but to bedevil nurses, Nigerian nurses globally. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I want to beg the registrar, if he, in case, by chance, if he comes across this thing, please, he should just not say international standard again. You should find something else that is more interesting to the ear, that we can hear. Because when you say international standard and you have nurses who are international that are willing to respond to you, I don't think it's a good way to go about it. It was just a distraction, in that conversation that this is international standard. No. And that makes me to know that he's actually bent on doing what he wants to do. Because it's one thing to say you're pushed to do something, and it's another thing to defend what you're pushed to do. So please, just another phrase, another thing can work, but not international standard, because everything in that very particular circular does not have any trace or element of international practice in it. Thank you.
Okay, SLM. I've always loved to. I don't know, but I want to bring Anselm so that let Anselm also add some oil to what the issue is that one of the propelling things that make me celebrate those of you who are here is that this thing is an Aluta spirit. It's just like an Aluta spirit, because I know it will affect you people, but with experience, I know some of you can afford the money. Some of you can afford to endure the 6 months. Instead, if you know that your own will expire in the next 6 months or 7 months, you can start from today and start applying. But many people can be taken advantage of, just like you mentioned, my brother, when you're talking. People, they go knock people wife. Knock people wife under that condition. You know what it means to japa in Nigeria. So people go change them for people wife, take advantage of people's wife. So this thing is a matter that we need to call on everybody. And I promise you, this platform will do everything possible to let who should hear this hear it. So I want Anselm to add to what you are saying. Anselm, please, but we need to buttress this thing and re-echo it and re-echo it and re-echo it again in the ear of our people, because this is not a joke.
Mr. Chinedu, very much. Let me tell you, every nurse in Nigeria right now that I'm speaking to you is a hostage. This is a hostage situation.
Correct.
This is an imprisonment. This is not something to be joked about with. I'm telling you the truth. If we look down and look at the implications,
There's a comment section. Sorry, Angela Eze say it has been inaugurated already this past January. There is an Nclex testing center now in Kenya currently.
in Kenya, in South Africa, but Nigeria, the Nigerian government does not want to take advantage of this
We
situation.
are the giant of Africa, and the small toddlers of Africa are doing mighty things.
They don't want to take advantage of this situation. Now, Kenya,
They were banned for some years.
US,
They were just lifted just last year.
Yeah.
The ban on them was just lifted. Look at how much they have achieved.
Yeah.
Look at how much they have achieved.
For the past how many years, Nigerian nurses have been migrating to the US, but Kenya has been there. Kenya,
but they were banned.
Within these few months, they brought them back in, and look at what they've achieved. So what am I saying? This is a hostage situation. This is a cry for help. This is an SOS situation. It's not something to fold our hands about and keep quiet. Why the nurses drown? No, this will not be tolerated. This can never be accepted.
I want to gradually be showing what people are saying. So that you see, even Jova, just to support what you're saying from the comment section, you say even job adverts are no more being made in federal medical centers and some federal teaching hospitals. People will be selling slots with huge amount of naira to secure a job that will pay less than 100K. Nigerian system is just a mess.
Now you can imagine how much you have to pay to get letter of good standing from those hospitals to go abroad. If you have to pay that much to get a job, you can imagine now how much you have to pay to the cronies of the CMDs and administrators, to their cronies and their friends to be able to get that letter.
I understand that it's like these people are in synergy with CMDs to make money for them.
Well, I don't even think they are in synergy with CMDs.
It's possible in Nigeria.
Do you
know one of the reasons?
Yeah.
I'm very, very close to Batinaj. Professor Batinaj. It's like a godfather to me. One of the people that were fighting him when he was trying to use his robotic brain that he got from the US, just like what you're saying, he came to the US and became a professor of robotics. He came into Nigeria as the Minister of Power and wanted to put things straight. They bottlenecked everywhere. Why? Some people that are selling generator, some people that are importing generator don't want the man to work so that there will be no steady light. Can you think of that? People selling generator, and you are telling me there's no synergy. A lot of people have some fraudulent synergies to frustrate people and earn money.
It's possible.
In a very wrong way. Are you hearing me?
Yeah.
So I don't see. Just look at it now.
Yeah.
Which practice we encourage or prepare a sane person in office to come out with this kind of regulation? Taking people, making obstinate the ideas that people have trashed for years is what is coming off when people are digitalizing issues and making verifications within 3 minutes or 4.
Yes.
And somebody is keeping you for 6 months. For what?
Chinedu, if I want to know if you are a registered nurse in the US, all I need to do is to go into a portal, put in your license number, and it will show me if you are a registered nurse or not.
Yeah, I have an idea of that because the first time I moved into US, the first thing I did was CNA. I went to CNA training in North Dakota. I went to CNA training. I was licensed. I went to their university, Bismarck State, in their College of Medicine. I did CNA. There's a CNA.
Of course.
Took the exam for the College of Medicine, took the exam for the state, and I had a license ID for CNA. So when I moved to another state, all they need to do is just bam, 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 and they have seen that this guy was a CNA. He's registered. His this thing will expire on so and so day. You don't need to all this. Hey, oh God.
So how will you feel, Chinedu, if I tell you now that for you to verify, you should go back to North Dakota and go and meet the president of your hospital?
Kai, my brother.
Or CEO of your hospital. Tell him to give you a written letter signed.
My
If the
brother,
letter will
my
be
brother,
signed, then I
my
will tell you
brother.
that now that you have moved to another, you cannot work. You have to stay there. So all those things, it doesn't really work. It doesn't work. So the issue of the letters are from CMDs, and there's another one that we haven't even touched. We've been touching other one. This one is that they said, you have finished your school, all right? They said you have to go back to your school of training and then get a letter of good standing from whoever that is your principal or your head of department now.
Present,
Present.
present.
Now, in my own school of training, if I go there, I may not find anybody that was there when I did my training. So how will they give me a letter of good standing? What do they know about me? You understand? Letter of good standing should be from people who you're currently with at that moment. And beside, if they really need something like a reference, they can call those people. If council is in to help nurses, let them call whoever they want to call to know
There
if
are certain
somebody
things they
has.
don't know. They contradict themselves constitutionally.
Exactly.
You see, look at it. You
Mm,
know, that is why you people need to hire a good lawyer in Nigeria.
mm,
So it's one of the things we'll discuss off camera.
mm.
Because as we are doing this bit in the media, you people need to file a case. And when you file the case, we can also bring the lawyer to the media and bring your documents, filing documents to the media. That's another way. I was a National Association of Nigerian Students. I was SUG president. I was a lot. So we are just sharing the same Aluta spirit. That is what dared me seriously to you people, because this is what I have done in my own side. Okay, so look at what will happen. These people don't know how they contradict themselves. They don't know that certification is worthy of character and learning. So any university that passes you out or any institution that passes you have confirmed that this guy is on good standing. Is already that certificate does not only count for your good IQ. It testifies that you are of worthy of character too. So, and that character attestation they are looking for again, where you are no more for years, is uncalled for. How can you say that somebody that have not seen somebody for 100 years should go and assess the person? What is the person talking about? That's why I told you that they have plans to create bottlenecks. That's what some people do when they bring out some policies. Some policies are made to bring bottlenecks and jeopardize people's future. Because I don't see the reason why a same person in this digital era will begin to think of somebody going back to the school and tell the present principal to talk about people. Some of you that are passed out for 6, 7, 10 years, 15 years from Newi School of Nursing should go back to Newi now,
Mm.
when you cannot even meet anybody that knows you.
You know me. Mm.
So it is funny.
It is.
It is funny. And we're not giving up. We're not giving up.
Um,
That's just it.
Chinedu, just like you rightly said, a lot of things are on the table. A lot of things. This is, coming online to talk about it and tell nurses out there that they shouldn't give up. This fight is a fight that you don't have to give up. We have to get to the finish line to see what it is like. Coming to also inform the public about the implication of what is happening, that even they might also be affected directly or indirectly. You know, coming out here to tell the world that this is the injustice that is being meted on Nigerian nurses by the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria. So it is one of the ways to fight this, and there are other ways. Believe me, the people that are here are not backing out. Before we came out here to talk about this, we actually have done some executions already. Like we have executed some actions already, and in the coming days, you might see the effect of what we have done now, and you might also the public would also hear what we have done in the coming days. But believe me, we're backing out. Just like you said, we can discuss further on this offline. But if people are out, the people that are out here watching, I just want them to know that this is not just all we are here to say, like, this is not just the only action we are carrying out as this case is concerned. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's great. I think another thing I want to say is that you know, social media is a very strong tool as you're taking, but another thing is that nurses should come out. Please, nurses should come out and start talking about it individually, collectively, on their personal pages. Are you hearing me? When things go viral in Nigeria, we should be able to conscientize our nurses to come out and start saying something about it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand me? So you people are making it's not enough. It's not going viral. Nurses are many, even in this US. I see a lot of them in people's platform in Instagram talking on issues that are not professional. This one that concerns them, they should be able to come out. They should be able to come out. So do you
The,
understand? Do you understand what I mean? So
yeah.
organizations should be able to extend their dragnet to conscientize nurses to come out. Like the topic, my wife is a nurse, so he shared this thing. I just saw her sharing this thing. How she shared it in her page. What she wrote is, "Please lend a voice to the suffering nurses." So you understand those kind of things is what we are expected. Like we just have about 270 people. By now, 270 people from all the dragnets I have. So at least these nurses around the nurses family here will not be up to 50. So by now, people should, this kind of thing you people are doing should be encouraged by heavy support. Heavy support. Individuals, okay, we are going to regulate this thing when we have like 20 minutes to go. There's something I'm going to do. I'm going to take you people one to summarize and make a categorical statement to the nursing councils. And I pick that one, record it. We send it to all the nurses. Let them post it in their pages. Let them send it to their Instagram. Let them send it to their YouTube. Let me tell you, some people have not known about this thing. And you start seeing comments. You start seeing Nigerians reacting. Do you know how many people nurses are feeding at home? Do you know how many people that their hope lies on nurses in US and UK now? If you touch one nurse in US, let me tell you, you are touching like 50 or 60 people. What I'm telling you is the truth.
It's true.
My wife is a nurse. I'm talking from experience.
Yeah.
Eh? I'm talking from experience, bro. I am not a professional. I'm even professionally. I have affiliation. I have privileged information to have worked
Yeah.
as CNA.
Hmm.
Somebody who have worked as a certified CNA. I have privileged information in the
Of course.
healthcare family.
Of
So
course.
apart from marrying a nurse, because if it's in the army, if you marry anybody, if a general is marrying somebody, the person is a brigadier, is the one rank above the person. So I should be uh, um, a practical nurse. What do you call that? Those ones that do like this,
Mhm. Licensed practicals.
Yep.
licensed practical nurse. That's what I should be. Since my wife is RN, because if it's in the army, the when you marry somebody, the person will be one step rank above you. So I have privileged information, and I know what I'm saying. I know the impact nurses are creating at home. I'm telling you. So, my people, this dragnet is not enough. We need to push more. You know, it's not easy to achieve this kind of feat, but we're not giving up. The doggedness I'm seeing in all of you, I know we will achieve it. I will support. I'm part of it. You have seen I brought out my platform. Ask him. I did not collect money to bring you people here. So ask him. So it's a free gift also to bring you people here and let the world hear our voice. If you look at this our page, if you look at this our page, you see what our logo is. Our logo is we rise by lifting others. If you see under Chinedu Anichi show. So a lot of things, when he was talking about this, as he was talking about when he was going through my page. I have spent money on people. I have spent money on people to become something. So when I see professionals like you that I know they will impact life, why shouldn't I support their whatever their proposal looks like? So another thing is, I want to ask you something. Nzube, Nzube, this question will go to you.
Mhm.
Nzube, please. What do you think? What do you think if this ugly incident is allowed in the next 3 years or in the next 2 years? What do you think will be the effect on the professional nursing, especially as it concerns Nigerians, both at home and in diaspora?
Okay. Quickly. It's the effect on nurses is going to be, it's already obvious, because Decency already said that immediately that circular was released, some nurses who had already gotten jobs in the US received a letter of termination that that they can no more, that the agency can no more go further with them, simply because they cannot deal with the 6 months or more. Remember, they said at least. It's not that it's going to last for 6 months. They said it's going to last for at least. And when you add the Nigerian factor and you talk about 6 months, so we are approximately talking about 1 year, 6 months to 2 years. That is what we are talking about, because the letter said at least 6 months. So I am thinking that it is just going to instill utter backwardness for nurses globally, not just, especially nurses in Nigeria, but also nurses globally. Because, for instance, let me give you a quick instance. If you're migrating from the UK to the US, you're looking at, the immigration processes. Now, you want to try as much as possible to tackle the issue of verification with Nigerian government, write your NCLEX and all that, so as to beat some certain immigration processes. Because this immigration process, once they open, it goes and goes and goes. Before you know, it closes again with the experience we've had over the years. Until maybe over a period of time. I think some few years ago, it lasted for almost 4 years or 5 years before it opened up again. Just recently, it closed for almost a year before it opened up again recently. So the implication is that it's going to stall the progress of nurses. Now, apart from migrating to work abroad, even to further your career, probably you want to go and get your PhD, or you want to move from one state of America to another state, or you want to move from one place to another, it is going to be a problem. Just like we've already highlighted, you cannot no job can wait for you for 6 months to get a verification. Remember, I said at least 6 months. No job can wait for you for 8 months in anywhere in the world before you are employed, for you to be verified by your country. They won't even understand that, because it lasts just about hours and minutes in other countries. So what we are saying is that this is going to draw nurses, Nigerian trained nurses, backward. And I don't think that is what the government of Nigeria wants for their nurses. I don't think that is the kind of reputation the government of Nigeria want for themselves with regards to nursing. So I am thinking and I'm pleading with whoever is involved. This circular, this practice should be withdrawn, and the right thing should be done. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I would like to that's good. I would like to talk to Decency on this issue, but before then, let me appreciate him for what he's doing, the way he's there. So, Decency, please, this thing that is happening to nurses in Nigeria,
Mhm.
what is the rationale behind this agitation the Nurses Association of Nurses, both in Nigeria and diaspora? What is the spirit propelling you people to carry out this?
Okay, thank you, Chinedu. So we are looking ahead. We are future-minded nurses. We are concerned about the future generation. We are concerned about people who are not even nurses yet, people who haven't even taken their counsel yet. We're concerned about the problem that is going to come as a result of this problem, this circular. So if this circular is effected in by March 1st, that's when a lot of people that are not even following, that are not sharing this video, that are just listening passively, and you know you're a registered nurse, that's when you now start seeing the effect. When you get to it, you remember, oh, they said it sometime. But what you can do to lend your voice now is to help us to get this message to people who can react to it and get us the audience that we need. So what I'm looking at and what is really motivating us is that we feel that if we leave this injustice to stand, that nurses in future are not going to have the benefit that we had. We had an opportunity to, migrate. We did that, and we have been gainfully helping Nigerians. Like I said, Chinedu was doing charity the other time. I also do charity. I've been invited by I've been invited by Nursing and Midwifery Council examination council committee to give a speech about how NCLEX looks like. So they want to borrow a leave from how NCLEX look like so that they can, and I did it faithfully. I was able to share that knowledge. Had I not been here, will I be able to do it? So what is motivating us is that we don't want to see nurses suffer for something that is not worth it, something that is not even called for. There is a lot of things that is enshrined in that circular that doesn't really mean well for a common Nigerian nurse or even nurses that are in other countries. And we want to talk to council. We are saying today, please retreat and revisit the circular. Revisit the circular as a father and as a mother of Nigeria. If you really are, because they are seeing this thing like it doesn't affect us. We are not going to be part of any group that want to travel tomorrow. But even though you are okay and comfortable today, you will have grandchildren, you will have children, you will have relations who might be nurses and would want to benefit from whatever the nursing profession is giving them, both within Nigeria and outside Nigeria. Would you allow them to go through this if you have the powers? Or are you going to bend the laws? Is this thing going to open up channels and avenues for corruption to thrive within the Nursing and Midwifery Council? Nursing and Midwifery Council should be trying to imitate NMC UK, NCSBN US. They should go to their website, find out how things are done there. If you talk about international standard, sir, this is where you have to visit. When you visit there, you learn from the portal how nurses are being treated by this country. You will learn from the portal how verifications are being done by other countries, how renewals are done. Because I know that not just the verification is suffering, every other single details that NMCN offers is also going to be affected. Whether you're renewing, if you say, okay, I'm going to be in Nigeria, I'm not going to, renewing license will also increase. The fees will increase because when the fee for verification goes up, every other thing will go up with it. Will you be happy as a Nigerian nurse that is saying today that you don't want to put mouth in this abroad thing? Is only affecting those people that are going abroad. When your renewal of license increases to 300,000, will you pay it? You that is earning 300, that is earning 30,000 in your nursing, whatever nursing practice in your private hospital, you're earning 30,000 naira. How many months will you save to be able to pay for renewal? That is things that we want to bring. This should not be. Nursing and Midwifery Council, please fight for your young. Do not frustrate your young. Fight for them. That's what we expect from council. Thank you so much.
Okay, Mr. Decency, I just saw what Taiwo wrote here. That's why I want to show it. If you go look at what Taiwo wrote, my offer letter was withheld because the hospital cannot wait for Nigerian Nursing Council cannot verify me on time.
See?
Okay.
So, Chinedu, you have seen that this thing we are talking about is affecting people who are looking at you.
Already, as we are talking, look at what Muhammad said. Good evening. Already, many have lost their master's scholarship because of this newly released circular by MMCN. So you see, this is a serious matter, and that's what I'm saying. And oh gosh, so we need to carry this crusade. If you are a nurse and you stand out, there's something Muhammad said again here that I want you people to look at. He said, if left to stand, a lot of other injustices will later surface. This circular is restricting our constitutionally enshrined right to freedom of movement. You understand? So,
That is true.
so this is why I said that it will be good for people in the National Assembly and the Minister of Health, the Ministry of Health, Chairman Committee on Health on the this thing. So you will see, you people need to write, because another thing is writing to the appropriate court. You see this process I'm telling you, we are going to write and we are going to engage them. I will also help you people, give you contacts that I have to reach the senators and have a time with them. If it is here, we'll have a time with them. You understand? So we can have a time with them. It's not difficult just to send them link. They will appear here in the comfort of their home. This one is not going to Channel TV or going to this place. They will be in the comfort of their home and get a link. They will come here and tell Nigerians, you understand, that this is what it is. So, and people in that place should be able to say something. We make them talk. We make them talk because they need to talk. They need to tell us. They need to convince us. These international practices and standard, they need to refer to ones. Let's see their pragmatic approach to bettering the life of professional nurses. Then, if Nigerians see it, that this thing is just a way of frustrating Nigerians, especially nurses in Nigeria and abroad, or people from, they will know, everybody will know. So it's something that we need to really put our mind. I would like to go to my brother Anselm now. Anselm, I would like to come to you. Okay? So, Anselm, the side I want to ask you is on the side of this process, this something you're pursuing. Is it only 3 of you, or you have college of interested nurses that are really ready to take this Aluta spirit forward?
Thank you, Chinedu, for this question. Believe me, there are different nurses. There are other associations in diaspora, even back home in Nigeria, that are fighting this. There are some group of nurses in the UK and I think Australia, Canada. They're also in this struggle. We had a meeting with them to see how we can synergize and channel our whole energy into the same cause, and we are working with them. We are also working with some other NGOs back in Nigeria, like Nurses Initiative for Good Leadership in Africa. We are working with them to see how we can fight this injustice from all ends. And believe me, some other nurses in their own different groups, they have protested. Some protested in the Nursing and Midwifery Council office in Abuja. Some did in Lagos, even though it fell on deaf ears. And there's an information out there that I don't know how true this is, that they are trying to see what they can do about the guideline, but I think it's a delay tactics. It's a delay tactics. They say they are trying to see what they can do about it, but here is March 1st, and you see it's going to be, employed in full force. Now, we have an association back in Nigeria, which is National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives, NAM, is the biggest association that also functions as a trade union and that protects the rights of Nigerian nurses. You know, it's also shocking that we have not heard anything positive from them, even though some state chairmen of that association have also put out some letters out there, some circulars out there, actually condemning this unprecedented guidelines that they brought out, condemning the barbaric guideline that was brought out by the Northern and Midwifery Council of Nigeria. But we are still waiting. We are still looking up to the national body of the association to, make a strong statement, or let's see action. Let's see actions that match whatever statement they are making. But what we are seeing here is other smaller groups trying to fight this. But believe me, when these smaller groups come together and fight it on different fronts, it's going to be effective. And I can assure Nigerian nurses, both home in Nigeria and in diaspora, that this must not, go untackled. That we must continue to fight this. They should be strong. People who are doing protests, they should continue doing their protests. People who are fighting on different front, they should continue. And at the end of the day, our hard work is going to pay. It is going to surely pay. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So thank you. I'm going to bring three of you up now, and I'm going to ask you questions. I can just ask you, and I will leave three of you, and let's see your reaction. You see, a lot of people are already reacting now. If you see the what do you call it, the comment section now, you will know that this thing is really touching people. Somebody just said now, it must pay for God's grace. Somebody said, not everyone, not every nurse wants to leave Nigeria. All those, the one that want to leave, they should allow them to go and improve their welfareism. The other person said, this, some school of nursing administered this exam to you from NMCN. If you are not in good standing with the school in the first place, they wouldn't allow you to write the exam. What good standing again are they looking for? So that's just what I said. That when a certificate is given to somebody, the certificate represents that you are worthy of character and learning. So, so when you have a certificate from a school, somebody sending you back again for for all these things, the person is just trying to frustrate you and make sure that the writing is not done. So, my brothers, what I'll be asking you is that you are just three here. So, what else? What are your plans to make more nurses come into this struggle? Because we don't have time. Today is 27th, right?
Mm.
No, today is
25th, right?
25th. Today
Mhm.
is 25th. We don't have time anymore. And this is February. February is like 28 days or 29, you know. So we have barely 3 to 4 days. Do you understand? And this thing will come into law or all these things. So we need to see how we can expand this thing. We can invite other groups. If you have their contact, you can give me, you can call them on phone. You can tell them, you people need to continue pressing, continue talking, continue letting people know. You understand? You don't get tired of this kind of thing. Like, there are things that will come up in a page like this. We'll be doing it every day. We're ready. Every day in the evening, we'll talk about it. You people talk to now. Let the Canadian people talk. Tomorrow, let the UK people talk. Next tomorrow, let the people at home, all those regulatory bodies at home, talk. We can make them talk. And when they are talking, people are don't think they are not hearing. So I am nobody, but a lot of bloggers will take what we are doing here. You will see it from tomorrow. You start seeing what we are doing here in different blogs. Different blogs will take it. Kanayo was in this program. He was watching. He just sent me a text that this is a threat. That's what he told me. So Kanayo was watching this. A lot of people, very reasonable people in Nigeria, they are watching this, and they will talk. they will react in their own. So I want to know how you people are planning to make sure that this agitation goes, because this is nationwide issue. In fact, global issue. It is a global issue. So I want to see strategies in plan, not just with here. Forget about the legal part. That one will not be revealed because it's something that is left for the legal desk. So
Yeah.
their processes are not put to open. Yeah. So, but organizationally, media-wise, what are the strategies you have? That's the question I have.
Okay, let me just speak to that. We have been engaging we've been engaging people from the media. We spoke on Rufai Oseni's Instagram live, and then he sent it across to other radio television in Lagos, and he told us that it was broadcasted, and we also requested to be on Arise TV. They have not given us a date yet, but we have been granted audience on Thursday. We are going to be on Arise TV. I'll get the time for Thursday. We're going to be on sorry, not Arise TV, on AIT. We're going to be on AIT on Thursday to discuss this very particular issue, and then we're also trying to see how we can work with influencers, to be able to get this information out. Then we have a group of nurses back home. We have set up a committee in the 36 states of Nigeria. We have volunteers who will be helping us to do the groundwork if we have any actions that we want to institute. And also we have a group of nurses in Telegram, is amounting up to 8,000 nurses from Nigeria, all from Nigeria. And these nurses are all aware of this program, and they are all aggrieved by the steps that Nursing and Midwifery Council is taking. If Nursing and Midwifery Council is taking a step for the nurses of Nigeria, and the nurses in Nigeria are telling them, we don't want this step, I think the most loyal thing to do, because you represent us, the Nursing and Midwifery Council, you represent us. If there were no nurse in Nigeria, there would be no institution like NMCN. But because of the nurses in Nigeria, you exist. You have your office. You're paid because of nurses in Nigeria. So those people that you're paid for are saying you're trampling on us, you're strangulating us, you're putting our nursing profession to death by putting us, under. We have gotten our autonomy by being a profession. The establishment that enacted or established Nursing and Midwifery Council has given it authority for us to, practice as an independent profession. But they are now taking us backward to those era when nurses used to play a subservient role in the face of medical doctors and other people who are hospital owners. No, we are saying no to that. We don't want that to exist. We don't want it to come to light. We don't want you to implement it. We want to remain as we were. We are okay. We did not complain. No nurse in Nigeria went to Nursing and Midwifery Council to say, we are complaining, we don't like the way you're doing verification. Go back to the way you were doing it before. Nobody complained to you. Or you can give us a number, tell us that some people wrote to you and said that this process was not working, and that's why you're implementing this one. No, nothing like that was done. You just woke up and you were not happy that people are making progress and you want to stop it. Well, I won't really say progress, because those progress that we think that those nurses are making is actually translating in the lives of people back home. I know how many institutions that have come up to me and said, how will it be if we can go back to Nigeria and establish a hospital? These are things that people are trying to do. Institutions are trying to do it. But the political system like this, people that bring up laws like this, will not allow such development to thrive. Because if you should start a hospital, it has to be friendly, it has to be open, it has to be able to get knowledge from international people. So if I have a nurse that is supposed to come and work in a hospital I open in Nigeria, and there are patients that are dying there, and I have somebody I want to bring from a foreign country, I have to take 6 months for me to bring that nurse. Will those patients leave 6 months in that hospital bed for me to bring somebody to come and take care of them? We have enough nurses in Nigeria. We are still producing enough nurses in Nigeria till date. Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria, I want to put this to you, that I was the president of all nursing schools in Anambra State. All nursing schools, it's about 8 schools, including the midwiferys. There are about 8 schools. Each of those schools produce about 100 nurses each year. Each examination year, they are entitled to produce 50 nurses. So in a year, they produce 100. Times it by 8, that's 800. Do those nurses have a place to work? Do we have 800 available vacant positions? I'm talking about just Anambra State. That's the same way it is in Enugu. It's like that in Ebonyi. It's like that in all the states. Kaduna, every state have their own school of nursing and school of training, that universities where nurses are produced. What have been done to give these nurses work? If you come to the real standard of practice here in the US, we do 1 patient to about 6 nurses. Some hospitals do 1 patient to 4 nurses. But in Nigeria, to the best of my knowledge, when I was working in Nigeria, it's 1 patient to 30 nurses. Sorry, 1 nurse to 30 patients. Sorry, the other way around. 1 nurse to 30 patients. How can you function effectively in that kind of? And that's something else that we have to even discuss on the open media, because we have to be able to tell the public. You look at nursing profession and you think they are not doing anything because 1 person is taking care of 30 people. Back home in your own houses, are you able to take care of 30 people? If I give you that responsibility to do, these are what nurses are doing. They are not complaining because by virtue of our training, we have been made in Nigeria, not elsewhere in the world. We have been made to accept it, work with it. There is no problem. Just don't say anything. Just close your mouth, do what you're told to do. But if you actually talk about license, in the actual sense of license is my own. I work to protect my license. So if I see any danger that will harm a patient, that will cause me to be in a law court, I am free and willing enough to say I cannot provide this kind of service, and I decline it, and I can leave that job and I'll protect my license. That's how it's done elsewhere. But Nigerian nurses, I would say 90% of them put their license on the line every day. I know a recent incident that happened in Abuja where a patient was brought in dead, and then they are accusing the nurses that they did not treat the patient, but the patient was actually brought in dead. You understand? All those kind of things and many more injustice, that are happening in the healthcare system. We have to expose them now, because nurses has not been talking. Now you have made us to wake up, and we'll expose all those things because we believe that there's an opportunity for you to do well and you have not done well. We're asking you to please look at this policy again and do the right thing. Thank you very much. I believe Chinedu wants one of us, maybe Nzube or Anselm, to also give your final thoughts on this issue.
Nzube, you can say something. That's fine.
Yeah, I think we cannot overemphasize the importance of National Midwifery Council withdrawing the existing circular, or to put a stop to implementing such devilish action on nurses. I think we cannot overemphasize that. What they have done is outrightly going to put nurses in a backward state. It's in no way, it has no advantage. There is no advantage, and like Decency have said, nobody was complaining of the current was complaining about the current verification process. Nobody was complaining about it. We were happy when it was, computerized. You can just go on the internet. You don't have to call anybody on the phone or, plead with anybody. Just go on the internet, put in your details, pay the required fee, and after a few weeks, you have your verification back. We're happy about it. Nobody is complaining. And if the National Midwifery Council feels that they are trying to use this to checkmate, there are better ways to do things. There are better ways to do things. You can ask whoever that has been reported to you that misbehaved, or whoever that you have found out to have misbehaved, even if the person is already abroad, you can call back the person. It can be done. You can call back whoever has misbehaved, but don't put in your autonomy into the hands of hospital CEOs. That is actually going to, affect nurses at the end of the day, because nurses will be required to pay a lot to be able to get these letters. Nurses will be required to do one thing or the other. Nurses will be compromised, nurses will be delayed in order to be able to achieve these things. It's enough that we have to go through, the process of verification by Nursing and Midwifery Council. Why do you have to subject us to, okay, for some of us, before we left Nigeria, I was working in the same hospital with Anselm. We were one of those who were saying no to some certain things. And I was saying to them the other day, assuming this process was in place, then we will stay back in Nigeria, because the hospital CEO will not give us letter of commendation, because there's no good standing. There's no good standing. So what I'm saying, because we always stand against injustices against nurses. So you can imagine if he has the right to sign on our behalf to say we can now travel abroad. Imagine if he's going to do that. Even if he does that, I can bet you that some persons who doesn't like us in their office will be stealing our letters anytime we submit it. They will steal a letter. Anytime we submit it, they will steal a letter. I can tell you, I can bet you, I understand the process. I understand, the politics. They will throw away your letter even before it gets to whoever that has to sign it. And just like somebody talked about, when will you even see the CMD? When will you even see him for him to pen down his signature? So apart from that, the verification is 6 months. Letter of good standing from hospital, I can bet you, add it another 6 months. Add that letter of good standing from hospitals, add another 6 months to it, because I can bet you can take as much as that. And remember, it has to go through your matron, the head of the matron in your ward, through the director, through the HN, the head of nursing service, through the director of nursing service, through the CMAC, through, I'm not joking, that's how you write letters in invitation, through the administrator, then through the CMD secretary, and then through to the CM. All this through. By the time you go through all this through, you understand what I'm saying. So I am saying that it is unacceptable, and there is no negotiation. There is no point of negotiation at all. What we are saying that it should be withdrawn, and either status quo maintained, or something better should be invented. But we're not complaining about what we have on ground right now. We're not complaining. It's okay. If that's the best they can offer, they should leave it. But I can bet you that if allowed, if this secular allowed, that can be tantamount to witch hunting. That can be tantamount to witchcraft. That is trying to, trying to make sure that you stall other people's progress, because that kind of secular can only come from a bitter heart. It can only emanate from a bitter heart. There is no. If you look at it, it's somehow trying to deal with people. Oh, you people have been traveling. So what we're saying is that such kind of secular cannot come from a progressive mind at all. It cannot. There is no way such secular can emanate from a progressive mind. So what we are saying is that secular should be neglected, that secular should be withdrawn, and that secular should be thrown back to abyss where it came from. Thank you.
So, enjoying my voice to what Nzube and Decency have already said. I mean, they've exhausted all the points that I've already passed. But I'm still gonna reemphasize that have been said already. Like we all know, this is slavery. This is something that should not be held in these current. I mean, this is people should not even hear of that. Oh, you have to do all these things. I mean, I've had a personal experience when I wanted to go on study leave. was that you write to the CMD or before you go on study leave, and it has to go through your head of your chief nursing officer, your head of nursing service before the CMAC and the CMD. You have to literally beg these people to pen down their signature on your letter before it gets to the CMD. In fact, the CMAC, I wrote that letter about 5 times. Why? Because the CMAC trashed my letter severally. You know, he trashed my application for study leave severally. How did I know? I applied and I kept on waiting. I did not see anything until one day I ran into the CMD. Luckily for me, the CMD was driving and he saw me wandering about his office. He stopped and said, "Young man, what are you looking for?" That was how my letter moved up from the CMAC to the CMD's office. So this is exactly what is going to happen. We know what, I mean, we know Nigeria. We know what happens in Nigeria. We know all these things. Any Nigerian nurse who, or in fact, anybody in Nigeria who does not know what I'm talking about, and that person is just beginning life in Nigeria. So why do they want to subject us to all these difficulties? Why do they want to take us back to slavery? Why? It is very, very pitiful situation. It is a very, very devilish situation that we have found ourselves. To me, I don't know how, the heads that brought about this idea. I don't know. So at times when I think about it, I see it like, these people want to just frustrate nurses. I see it like these people they don't want the good of nurses. They don't want the progress of nurses. This is an anti-progress guideline that should be rejected in its entirety. So we continue to call on the public to speak out for nurses. We call on the nurses to speak out. Don't hide yourself wherever you are. Come out in full force. Those who are protesting should continue to protest. Those who are doing other underground work should continue. We must come out successful in this. We must win this fight. We have no other option. There's no option. So when you know there's no option, what do? You put in all you have in this fight. So I'm trying to encourage everybody, put in all you have in this fight. We are not backing out. And we're still going to contact some legislators. We need someone that can sponsor a bill or bring up this in the floor of the House of Reps or the Senate floor. Let this be discussed about. We have representatives from our different places. We have House of Rep members who represent us. We should try and get contact with them. These things should be spoken about. It should be deliberated. We have senators. These things should be spoken about. It should be deliberated on the floor. We need to get an end to this. And believe me, whatever plan the Northern Military Council has to implement this on 1st of March, it is going nowhere. It is going nowhere. That's all I have to say.
Okay, that's great. I'm grateful, and we are here. See, a lot of reactions are coming from nurses now, and I'm so happy they are reacting, and it shows that what we are doing here is already creating a positive impact. So, what I want to say now is that we will be rounding up because I want to thank somebody. One of decency, yeah, one decency. I don't know, decency, decency. Onyinyechi Stephanie. Thank you for sending me some stars. I've seen some stars you sent to me. Thank you. Please, I am begging you people. Please, you have seen what our platform can offer. So if this is your first time of coming, please just follow us. If you are on um if you are on YouTube, I have seen a lot of people on YouTube. Mohammed Ramat is on YouTube. Angeleze is on YouTube. Catherine Ayegboyin is on YouTube. So a lot of people are on Instagram. So please follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook, those of you on Facebook. Then subscribe on YouTube, please, because this is what will give us the audience for us to continue. For those who are sending stars, thank you for sending us stars. It will help us to create more content, and we promise to stand by you. We have the large, for my own suggestion, this my platform, as I'm seeing it like this, because I have a strong streaming platform instituted for me by the Indians. So I will have to exhaust it, because this place can take 12 speakers. As I'm talking to you, it can take 12 speakers. You understand? From different platforms. So I wish that we can have a larger house whereby it will not just be you people. Let's see how we can bring people from the government, bring people from the legislative, bring people from even the religious point of view. When we are done I will talk with Decency so that we can see how we can speedily, within today, tomorrow, pick up some other people that will start reacting. People need to start reacting, because if we say this thing and people are not reacting, it doesn't make great impact. But after saying this thing, now people are now coming up in the same platform or in different platform and start talking about it. You understand? So you will see that it will create impact. So that is the next step we are going to take. You people have been wonderful, and God will bless you for bringing out your time to fight for the people. It's not easy. I have been in struggle for years, and I know what it is. Sometimes, even people you are fighting for, they are saying, "What is this one's death? What is it doing?" But some of you have developed a thick skin, so whether they are talking good or bad, you know where you are going, you're focused, and I know that with the approach we are going, the legal processes and others, we will surely achieve what we want.
Okay,
So,
thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to be on this show. Like I said, this show is actually sponsored by not really sponsored because, but the members of these programs, Anselm and Nzube, we are all part of a very big group. It's called the Nurses in Diaspora Association, and these are including all the nurses in Canada, US, UK. We all came together and we are speaking with one voice. And we're asking is that we be listened to, and we challenge anybody that feel like he has something to support in this circular to come on air with us, and we can all analyze it. If the person, is able to convince us, fine, so be it. But I know with what we have seen that this person will not be able to convince us in this fight. So it is the nurses in diaspora that we are representing today. Okay. Thank you so much, Nedu, for giving us the opportunity to come on your program.
okay, myself, I'm going to work on the the caption I've given this, the description. I'm going to work on the description because, your name is always
I
standing
know.
ahead academy. So
I know.
it doesn't look like it is a single academy
Yes.
struggle. Let it
Yes.
be known that it is a body of nurses in diaspora.
Yeah.
We hope to, if you people have contacts of all those people that are in Nigeria, we
Hmm.
can still have them. If you people cannot come, we can have them.
Okay.
Page, like all those people in Nigeria, get some nurses. They must not be having offices. Let nurses be talking.
Hmm.
From now to first, let nurses not rest in the social media.
Hmm.
That's how to do struggle.
Hmm.
Nigerians know how things trend. I'm a professional in this field. When nurses start talking from all angles now for the next 2 days, bloggers will hijack it. All these big names we are calling, you don't even need to go to them. When they start talking it, they will borrow it because they want to trend. They will
Hmm.
borrow it and start. People in Nigeria, how they do their own media. It's not like those of us here. So they have certain things they want to gain, And as a result of that, they are looking for trending things like this. So when we put it out, so what we need to do, we don't need to rest. If we need, I would like tomorrow, we host some people from Nigeria. And those people in Nigeria, those associations in Nigeria, if the national body don't want to speak, let those in the state speak. Let individuals contact them. It's just the link. They'll come here and talk. I'm not charging money for them. Let them talk to Nigerians. Because this thing is paining me because I know what my wife is also. I'm feeling this thing indirectly. I'm part of you people.
Right, you're part of the struggle.
I'm part of the struggle because the Igbo man say, when they cry, nose go they cry joy. No.
Mhm. That's true.
Okay. So thank you, my brother. Finally, what can you say about Chinedu Anichi TV?
I think the platform is very good. It has publicity, and like you said, you have a lot of bloggers and radio stations that are connected to this. So it gives us the publicity and the wide spread coverage that we need to be able to pass information across to the public. So you're doing a great job. Like I said, I was going through your page and I saw the wonderful things that you are doing on the streets of Enugu and other parts of Nigeria. So thank you for all what you're doing. And later on we'll talk about that because I'm a lover of charity too. So we'll talk about what other ways that we can work together. But thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Ndube, what is your prayer for Chinedu Anichi TV?
Yeah, Chinedu Alichi, thank you very much. I do appreciate you for giving us this platform and for also enrolling into the fight too, because you have also made some promises with regards to giving links to the National Assembly and all that. But most importantly, we want to thank you for giving us this privilege to come on your platform, to air this. Having 200 and something people watching us live, I think it will go a long way to make public what our agitations are, what our plights are. Thank God for social media. It is no more those days when you have the usual radio stations and TV stations that if they don't give you permission, you cannot come and talk. Thank God for social media that you can actually go on platforms on social media and say whatever you want to say, and they must hear you. I just want to say thank you and thank you and thank you again. And I want you to keep up the good work. And I pray that the Lord will continue to, bless you and bless what you do. Thank you very much. I do appreciate.
Yeah. Anselm. Iwonye Igbo. It's like Anselm is muted. Let me check. Check your stuff. Can you talk now? What's happening? Did you answer call again?
Obadi, you're muted.
Anselm is not muted.
Mm.
Can you talk now? Talk again. Let's see. Oh gosh. So he answered call. Sometimes when he answers call, it's just like that. So the call will now come and obstruct what we are doing. So my brother, I'm ready to partner with you people in this struggle. I am ready. I dey like this kind of struggle. So if you look at my page, you said you went through my page. You will never see where they drag anybody. You will never see where they are talking about celebrities' failed marriage. You will never see where they are talking about all these things trending, Ebuko Obi and Fadambaka. And you will never see with all these things trending. It's only sensitive issues that we will come into it in a very mild and non-offensive matter. So that is what the page stands for. The page stands as a ministry. That's why I see it as I see it as a call. You understand? So, and this kind of struggle comes up, all of us go shook head. So you see what we will start doing. All we need is for you people to We are going to do something better.
Mm-hmm.
From this night, we need to talk. Okay, he
All
has
right.
come up. He has come up.
Sorry, Chinedu. I think next time I'm going to use my laptop
That's
in
the best.
yeah.
That's just the best. That's just the best.
So, Chinedu, I want to really thank you for lending your voice and your platform, and also some of your ideas in this struggle. I know we are still going to get more ideas from you, and we're going to, go into a more detailed discussion offline after this airing. Thank you so much. This shows that you have the interest of nurses at heart. This shows that you are a good person. This shows that you are a selfless person because just like we rightly stated here, you were not given any money. There was no contract. You just decided to use your platform to expose the ill that is being meted on nurses by the Nigerian by the NMCN based on the guidelines that was just released. Thank you so much, Nedu. I pray that God continue to strengthen you and use you to help other people, individuals, and associations in need. um, I can't thank you enough for this, and I also look forward to working with you in the coming days to see how we can pull other people to appear here and also engage in this discussion that is critical in the progress of nurses and also every Nigerian as a whole. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you, my brother. I'm going to edit the heading before I post. Because I wrote Decency Nclex Academy on the new verification. And no, it's not going to be that. We're going to edit it and put the proper thing there before it goes to. I've also discussed with Decency that we are going to record some of this, some of the points. That's why if you see the features associating this my studio is great. Some of the people in Nigeria don't have it, but some people in Nigeria they can't access it for now because it's the latest. So you can see even that place you are, I can change your background. I can change the background. I can if the background where you are sitting is not proper, I can change it for you from here. So these things is what we are gaining where we are. And that's why people should be encouraged. So so as nurses, if you go to Nigeria now and put the practices you have learned here, if Nigerian nurses can learn 1/4 of what you have learned here and put it in practice, nobody will even come abroad to treat any patient. I'm telling you. So people should be allowed to go and sojourn and get new experience, bring it back home, and develop their people. So I am a strong advocate of that. So I thank you, people. Um, let's see how we can bring more other people to talk about this. But prior to that, I want to thank everybody, all those who send me, and I can't mention all your names, those who send me gifts, stars, thank you. Those of you who participated, I thank you. Those who are supported, those who follow. If this is your first time, please follow us as we're having audience. There are other things we talk. You are just experiencing your own. There are other matters we have handled that when it comes, you would like to watch them. We have educative, informative, and life-saving content here. We don't do any other thing except that. So please, I thank every one of you. And we will want to be drawing the curtain there. But before we do that, um, my name is Chinedu Anichi, your one and only celebrity CSO, and this is Chinedu Anichi TV, streaming live from St. Louis, Missouri, United States of America. Good day. Our Our motto is we rise by lifting others. So I cannot drop without asking you, check up on your neighbor. In fact, I have a wonderful audience today because you are nurses. God care. God cares and you people care. So you know caring already. So check up on somebody. Check up on somebody with a phone. Check up on somebody with a visit. Check up on your neighbor. So the center of this particular platform, the center, the nucleus of our practice is one, love above color, race, religion, and tribe. humanity is at the center of what we do. Once the next door neighbor is happy, we have achieved our purpose. And I know that's what nurses are out there. Your voice will be heard. Your voice will be heard. Your voice will be heard. That verification will not survive because books properly, books play. God bless you. Remember, I love you, especially nurses. I love you so much because my wife is a nurse. And I have privileged information to have worked with you as a CNA, drawing the curtain here. God bless you. Thank you.